So we have something called ingress. Okay, so before ingress, let me show you one more thing. Okay, earlier what we were using to expose our cluster to the outside world,
Output.
we were using node pod or load balancer service. Okay, so this is my KDS cluster. Okay, inside this cluster, we used to have one pod. Okay, whether it is a deployment or YAML or whatever it is, so we used to have one pod, and to this pod we used to create one service. Okay, so this service, it can be either node pod or load balancer to expose to the outside world, right? So this pod is mapped to the service, and if any user is trying to access from browser, IP address of the node pod 192.168.0.1, then what will happen? This request will be access to the service, and then service will be redirecting this request to the pod. So this is how it was working, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So now, for example, if you have multiple services, means if you have one more pod for different microservice, and you need to create one more service, okay, and this service will be exposed to the outside world. So the service IP will be used to access our application. So what is happening if you are having multiple microservices, then we are supposed to create multiple services, and each service should also get one IP address, right? So even when we are using any cloud platforms, right, so we need to pay for that IP address as well. If there are 1,000 services, then we need to create 1,000 IP addresses. So we are ending up by paying thousands IP address payments. Okay, so that was the issue in terms of services. And apart from this, whenever we are using any service, right, so it will work as a load balancer as well. By default, it has the nature of load balancer. Okay, so it will be using the basic round robin algorithm only. So what it is doing, it is trying to distribute the load across multiple pods. If there are 5 pods attached to your service, then it will try to redirect the request to 5 of these pods by using round robin algorithm. Okay, so when it comes to ingress service, right, I mean, when we have our physical load balancer, means you don't want to expose these services. So you need to have a mechanism, for example, like load balancer. Okay, you need to have one load balancer attached to your cluster, and this load balancer will be exposed to the outside world. Okay, so this load balancer will be exposed to the outside world. So by default, I mean, how many type of load balancers are available in the market? We have different types. One is Nginx, one is HA proxy. Okay, then we have A10, then we have FI. Okay, and then we have AWS load balancer, we have Azure load balancer. Okay, so we have different type of load balancers available in the market. So what I should use? I should use any external load balancer attached to my cluster. Okay, but when I will be using this external load balancer, right? So what will be the different benefits? So we will be able to get different benefits like host based routing. path-based routing, key session. Okay, so we'll be getting different benefits. There are a lot of benefits when it comes to the enterprise load balancer which are available in the market. So when the companies are using services, they are only getting the round robin based feature only. Apart from this, they are not getting any other features. But when we are using the traditional load balancer, we have a lot of features. It will work based upon host based, path based, ratio based, sticky sessions, as well as round robin. These are all the different options what we have seen in AWS load balancer as well when we were using application load balancer, right? So even in application load balancer, we were able to see these features. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So now what is happening when everyone is moving to Kubernetes? They were using services and services were not able to provide the complete functionality to expose the cluster. I mean, it was exposing the cluster, but it was not able to get all these features. That's the reason what Kubernetes has did. Kubernetes has introduced ingress in Kubernetes. I mean, ingress is nothing but a part of object. Okay, so it's a Kubernetes object. So what is the use of ingress? Now we have two main components. One is ingress, one is ingress controller. Okay, so we have ingress, or we generally call this as ingress resource as well. Both are same, ingress or ingress resource, and then we have ingress controller. So we have two important concepts here. So what is the use of ingress controller and what is the use of ingress? Ingress controller is nothing but our load balancer service, means this part. It can be our ingress controller. Okay, this is nothing but ingress controller. So here what I will do, I have created one service, right? So what I will do is I will create one ingress inside my cluster. Okay, and this ingress will be attached to my service, and whenever a user is trying to access, he will communicate with the ingress. This is how it is working, and this ingress will be attached to my ingress controller. Okay, so what is happening is ingress controller means, for example, when you are trying to execute kubectl command, what is happening? It is communicating to API server. Okay, so for example, let me show you this. I'm trying to execute kubectl apply -f pod.yaml, right? So what is happening? kubectl is communicating to API server, and API server is sending the request to scheduler to schedule the pod on the particular node machine, and then kubelet is responsible to run the container. So now what is happening is whenever kubectl is communicating anything, then kubelet is nothing but one controller, means kubelet is always checking if we are getting any new request to create the pods. That's the use of kubelet, right? So now what is happening? So ingress controller is nothing but it can be any of these load balancer, means you can either use Nginx, you can use HA proxy, you can use A10, F5, or any of these load balancer. So these are external parties, means the ingress controller is developed by third parties. The load balancer, whoever is maintaining the load balancer, ingress controller has been developed by them only. So what they have asked is ingress will be developed by Kubernetes, and you guys make sure of ingress controller. So what this ingress controller is doing, it will continuously monitor whether any ingress resources are coming, this part. Means whenever a user is requesting for any ingress, then ingress controller will check for it, and based upon it, it will try to implement all the rules. Clear? Ingress controller is nothing but our load balancer. What it is doing, it is just trying to monitor the ingress resources. Now what is ingress? Ingress is an object which is used to connect to the external world. It will be used for HTTP and HTTPS, and we can configure different rules as well. Means how your traffic should be redirected, whether it should be host based routing, path based routing, what are the different features you want to implement. All that features you can configure that in the ingress resources. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Okay, so ingress resource is the actual file where we are configuring all the configurations, how your traffic should be redirected, how this should be exposed to the outside world. An ingress controller is nothing but a load balancer which is actually monitoring our ingress resources. If any new ingress resource is created in the cluster, then ingress controller will automatically attach to it, and based upon it, it will try to implement. In our case, make sure that you are talking about Nginx ingress controller in interviews. Okay, that's what I'm going to use as part of practical as well. So this is the definition for ingress, and this is the definition for ingress controller. And as I said, ingress is developed by Kubernetes, and ingress controllers is developed by the load balancer companies. Okay, so why should we use ingress? So prior to ingress, we were using load balancer service to expose our application to outside world, but it only provides round robin algorithm. And also there were different couple of issues, right? So if you have 100 services, then we need to create 100 services. 100 services in the sense 100 options or 100 microservices. Let me make it the same as. Okay, so it will not support different features which our load balancers were doing. So that's the reason everyone has moved to ingress now. Okay, so I will be creating ingress as part of Minikube, because in my Minikube my cluster is already running. So if you see Minikube status, here you can see host is running, kubelet is running, API server running, kubeconfig. So this is my Minikube. Let me just execute kubectl get pods -a. So do we have any pods running? These are the default pods which will help us to run our functionalities, right? So we are aware of this. Okay, so no pod as of now. I mean, I haven't deployed any deployment. There is no service, there is no ingress created. Okay, so now what I will do, first thing what I will do is I will try to create one pod.yaml. Okay, so in our case I have pod.yaml, deployment.yaml. Even I have configured this in the document as well. I will be sharing this document with you after the session, so that you can use this document and make sure to execute. Okay, so now what I will do is, first let me just do cat deployment.yaml. I hope this is easy for everyone. No need to explain this, right? We are pretty much aware of these YAML files, what is kind, metadata, specifications and all. So in this example, what we are trying to do, we are trying to use one Nginx image. Okay, and the app name is Nginx, and it is been exposed on port number 80. So let me apply this changes, kubectl apply -f, and then deployment.yaml. Clear kubectl get pods. Here you can see one deployment is been running successfully. Now, how can I expose this deployment without ingress? Let us not talk about ingress. Okay, so how can I expose this deployment? Using one service.yaml, right? So in this case, I will be using one service, and the type of service is node port, which is exposed on port number 30,001. and it is selecting based upon app equal to Nginx. I mean, this was the label for our pod deployment, right? So I will be using selector as Nginx. So let me execute this. F1 of service.ml. kubectl get services. Here I can see that what Nginx iPhone service, which is exposed on node port, is been listening on port number 30,000 for now. How can I access this service on browser? Because it is node port, it means that it has been exposed. Now I want to access my service to from the browser. How to do that?
Public IP, then colon.
IP will not work because I'm using Minikube. So I need to use Minikube
Localhost.
IP. Okay. $30,001. Let us see what is happening. Will this work? Usually it should work, but because we are in Minikube, this will not be working because Minikube is running inside one Docker. We need to make sure that we are exposing our, the host port as well. Okay, so even if I use localhost colon 30,001, this will be the same issue for you guys as well. You will not be able to access your application, whether you are using Notepad or whatever service you are using. So what I will do, Minikube, we have one command, Minikube service, and then service name, and then --- URL. So what this command will do, this command will help you to give one URL to your Nginx server. This is used only in Minikube, guys. This will help us to create one tunnel, and it is throwing one URL. So I will copy this URL and I will try to access this in the browser. See, now this is running. Okay, so in general, we used to use services to expose our cluster, right? So once I will close this terminal, here you can see, because you are using a Docker driver on Windows, the terminal needs to be open to run it. If I'll close this, and if I'll refresh this, the tunnel is closed and you will not be able to access your application. Okay, so this is how the services in Kubernetes, in Minikube are working. So now kubectl get pods, kubectl get services. Here you can see one service is running. So now what I need to do is I need to configure one ingress.yaml. Here if you see, this is our ingress.yaml. So this will be the API version for ingress. Client will be ingress, and this is nothing but the name. And here I am trying to specify different rules. So as of now, I'm using host-based path, means I want my application to be accessible on arisha.com. And here we don't have any path-based routing, means I'm not using any / path prefixes. Anything from arisha.com should be redirected to this particular service. See, here I'm telling my ingress to go and monitor for this service, Nginx iPhone service. And this should be exposed on port number 80. Okay, so now if you'll see this arisha.com, let me open this. There is nothing deployed here, so this site can't be reached. Means I don't want to use IP address, I want to use my host name. Okay, similarly we have a lot of rules. For example, ingress resource Kubernetes. If I'll open this, this is the official documentation, guys. You will be able to understand this. Okay, so here if you'll see this, we have these rules. Let me open. See, this is something related to our HTTP rules. So we have a lot of descriptions here, how we can use and all. So in my case, I have used this particular rule, host-based pathing. Okay, then we have different rules here. So you can use anything, whatever you want as per your requirement, means how your load balancer or how your ingress should be working. So based upon that, you can try to configure multiple rules. Okay. So now in my case, I'm using one host-based rule. I want to access my service on Arisha.com. Before doing this, as we have discussed that we should configure ingress controller. In our case, we don't have any ingress controller. We know that, okay, we have that ingress resource which is already available. I just needs to execute this, but there is no ingress controller who is looking for this. Okay. So for example, if I'll execute this ingress, right? So kubectl apply -f ingress.yaml, it is throwing some error. Internal error occur because of the ingress controller. There is no ingress controller. That's the reason it is not able to execute this. So for Minikube, the setup is very straightforward. Means you need to execute one single command: Minikube add-on enable ingress. Okay, so what will happen? This command will help you to set up your Nginx ingress controller. Here, if you see this, kubectl get pods -a, then you can see there are 3 different pods which are being created. Ingress-Nginx. This is nothing but one Nginx ingress controller. This is for Minikube. If it is for your regular cluster, I mean our EKS or our physical cluster, then the setup will be quite different. You can use the Helm package manager or you can use the YAML file and you can set up. For that purpose, you can go to the document always. Here we have ingress controller. If you click this, here you can see these are the different ingress controllers which are available. Means these many load balancers are being supported by Kubernetes. See, we have HA proxy, we have HA proxy ingress, see? We have FI, and then we have Apache, Alibaba, AKS. So these are the different, and I was talking about this Nginx ingress controller. So if I click this, whenever you click on this link, then you can see different steps which will help you to download or set up your ingress controller. So this is being provided by the load balancer companies. So if you want to download HA proxy, then you can select this. So here you have these steps, how you can use this. You can go to the description, and these are very straightforward process, guys, because they want everyone to use their ingress. So they have created very good documentation how this can be set up. If you execute this command, then your HA proxy ingress is set up. Okay. So in our case, we are using Nginx. So I have already set up Nginx. So if I use kubectl get pods -a, sorry, then you can see this ingress Nginx. Okay, so this is already done. Now I know that, okay, my controller is ready, so I want to set up my ingress. So how to do that? We have the YAML file, apply -f ingress. So here you can see that something has been created. If I'll do kubectl get ingress, then you can see that one ingress is created. This was the name of my ingress, and this was my host name. And here, if you see this, the IP address is blank. So what will happen? Without this IP, you cannot be able to access your, I mean, once the IP is enabled, it means that you can access your application on this particular host name. This is not something what I have taken from GoDaddy. This is one random domain. I haven't registered this domain in GoDaddy. I just want to do that basic testing for now. Okay, so what is happening, if I'll wait for a couple of seconds, then I can see that one IP address has been assigned to this ingress. Means now this has been successfully done. If I'll use Minikube IP, this is the same IP address which is been attached to my ingress. So now what you can do, you can try to access your application with the help of this particular domain. Okay, so let me go, let me try to refresh. So what will happen? It should redirect my request to the Nginx page, but in our case, the site can't be reached. It will not work. Why? Because this domain is not available. I haven't purchased this domain. It is not registered in GoDaddy or any other domain vendors. That's the reason it is not able to identify. So what I have did, I have just set up this in my local only. Okay, so now apart from this, what I will do is, as we have discussed before, anything, I mean, if you want to expose anything in Minikube, then you can use Minikube tunnel. So what this will do, this will help you to expose your Windows machine host IP addresses and map with this ingress service. So I am using this command. So what will happen, this command will help us to create one tunnel and expose our cluster. Minikube. This is only for Minikube, guys, not for our regular Kubernetes. Okay, so here if you'll see this, you can see Nginx -ingress means starting tunnel for service Nginx-ingress. So what it is doing, it is trying to create or expose all our host machine port numbers. Okay, you cannot close this window, so it will take some time. Apart from this, once you have opened your tunnel, if I'll refresh this, now see, welcome to Nginx. Okay, earlier it was blocked, now it is working because the tunnel is open. But apart from this, for example, I want to use techie.com, means I am trying to update my host. Okay, kubectl apply -f ingress.yaml. So it has been applied. Now if you'll see this getting ingress, you can see that techie.com is available. Now if I'm doing Minikube tunnel and trying to access techie.com, I have removed arisha.com. Okay, so techie.com. See what is happening. Looks like there is already one domain just trying to open HTTPS. So techie.com, there is one domain purchase. So let me just modify this. Okay, I'm trying to use techie.sabre.com. Okay, so let me save and let me apply these changes. Sorry. Now if I'll do get ingress, you can see techie.sabre.com, which is mapped to this IP address. Minikube tunnel to expose this. So let me try to access this now. See, techie.sabre.com, it is not working. It is redirecting to GoDaddy, means this is been not recognized. Arisha.com was recognized, but this is not recognizing. Why? Because you need to configure. I mean, we should store this in our local DNS, right? So we have something called local DNS, what we have seen in our initial sessions. So I will go to the etc. This is the path for our Windows. Here you have one file called host. In this file here you can see this domain was already configured. Means for your Minikube you should use 127.0.0.1, but if it is for your Kubernetes cluster which is on cloud or on physical machines, you should copy the ingress IP address, this one, ingress IP address 192. So in our case, since I am using Minikube tunnel, this will be working on 127.0.0.1. So what I will do, I will try to configure this here instead of arisha.com, techie.sagar.com. Let me save this. So I am trying to save my domain in my local DNS. Means any request which is coming on this particular domain will be redirected to this particular IP address, and this IP address is mapped with our ingress IP address, right? So let us try to access now. See, now this is able to redirect the request to Nginx page. Okay, so this is how you can set up ingress, you can set up ingress controller, and you can configure the domain or your hostname in your local DNS. If you have different rules, for example, you have different services and it should work based upon path prefix /app, then it should redirect to one service, /test, it should redirect to one service. Even this is possible by using different rules, right? So you can configure different rules and you can try to access. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So let me close this. I don't want to use all this stuff now. Just remember the ingress and ingress resource and ingress controller, and check the configurations. I mean how we can really expose them. Even if you want to redirect the request, means for example, this request, sorry, this is our website, right? So now this is working on HTTP, right? So if you want to add some extra layer, I mean HTTPS, this is also possible in ingress only. We can create one HTTPS, I mean we can create one SSL certificate, and that SSL certificate can be attached to our ingress, and all the requests will be redirected to HTTPS. That is also possible. It will also help us with path-based routing, path prefixes. Okay, so try to explore that options, try to see how the YAMLs are being defined, and try if you want to add HTTPS, right? So try to add HTTPS as well. Try to test it out. Okay. So now we have our regular Kubernetes cluster. So let me just first connect to this. kubectl get nodes. Here you can see that this is in my cluster. We have two different nodes. Can you see this, right? So
Yes, yes.
we have two machines. One is master and one is worker. If you say this, what's the current version?
1.28 from start.
Yeah. What's the latest version now?
1.28.
1 point. 1.28, 1.29. Latest version in your machines is 1.29. In my case, it is 1.28. Okay. Now my requirement is to upgrade my Kubernetes cluster. This is very important, guys. Ingress and this concept is very important. This should be on top of your mind. Okay. So now I want to upgrade my Kubernetes cluster. If you see this official documentation, here you can see 1.29. Let me open this 1.29, and in this 1.29, what's the latest version we have? The latest version we have is 1.29.2, I guess, right? It's around 1.29.2 something. Yeah. So the latest version is, the major version is 1.29 and the minor will be 2. So now I want to upgrade my cluster from 1.28.7 to 1.29. But what is the use of upgrading? Why should I upgrade? Why should I upgrade my cluster?
Client requirement.
Enable extra features.
అన్ని client requirement అని వాళ్ళ పైన తూచిస్తే ఎట్లయితుందా?
Enabling extra features.
So if you are not updated, what will happen? 1.28 version, if you go to this documentation, okay, if I go to the 1.28 documentation, somewhere they will be providing, or else let me go to the release notes. This is for which one? Okay, this is for 1.28. Let me check the dates if they have provided any release notes for this. Okay, here if you see this will be deprecated starting from September 13th. Okay, this is for 1.24, 1.28. Latest release notes. Okay, here you can see 1.29. This will be expiring in 2025 February 28th. Okay, and currently my version is 1.28, which is going to expire on this particular date, means October 28, 2024. So still we have 5 to 6 months of time. So what will happen once this is end of life, then there will be no updates on this version. And the latest version will always have extra features, means better security. They will try to update their application. Kubernetes will be much better or much stronger than before. They will try to fix all the bugs, right? So that's the reason we'll try to upgrade to the latest versions. Means whenever we see, okay, this is about to end, for example, this is October month and this is 16. So what I will do, I will try to plan one upgradation at this point of time. I want to move from 1.28 to 1.29, and every update will have some different features. Okay, so that's the reason we try to upgrade the clusters. So now in our case, we are using 1.28 and I want to upgrade this to 1.29. So how to do this? We have one pretty straightforward document. Let me just open the document. Okay, I found this document and this is really good. Okay, so here see, whenever we are trying to upgrade our cluster, right? So we have two type of components. One is control plane and one is worker machines, right? So always first we need to go for control plane and we need to upgrade your master first. and then you should go for your worker nodes. So this will be our order for upgradation. Remember the process, guys. This will be asked in interviews for sure. Okay. So and then once we go to the master, we need to upgrade three components. One is cube ADM. This was used for the setup, and then we have kubelet, and then we have kubectl. Okay, so we need to upgrade three components. Here, if you see kubectl F1 version. Acha, I am using wrong ones. kubectl version shit spelling. -v. This is also not throwing version. Let me check kubeadm version. kubeadm -f1 version. This is also not throwing. Maybe we need to use some different command. Check version of kubeadm kubelet kubectl. Let us see which command we should use. Okay, kubeadm, and then there should be no iphones. Okay, let me execute this. Okay, here the version is major version is 1, minor version is 28, and then the sub version will be 0.7. Okay, so this is the same version what we were able to see on the where we are executing kubectl get nodes, right? So similarly, if you see this kubelet version, so this will be also of the same version 1.28.7. Okay, and if you are trying to check kubectl version, this will be also save version. So these are three different components which we should upgrade. So 1.28.7. Okay, now I want to upgrade this. So the first thing is we need to upgrade these three components. So if I'll execute kubectl get nodes, what will happen? It will try to show us the details of the cluster, how many masters and workers. Okay, then log into your control plane means log into your master machine. So this is my master. And check the existing version. So how to check the existing version? By using kubectl get nodes, we can get all the versions. Okay, this is also done. And then we have decide on the upgrade version by running a kubeadm upgrade plan. Same version or new version means which version you want to upgrade. So we have one command called kubeadm upgrade plan. So what it will do, it will suggest you which upgrade you want to follow. What should be your plan? I mean, which version you want to upgrade for. Okay, so here if I'll scroll, okay, here you can see the current version is this and the target is 1.28.8 means in 1.28 version there was one minor version as well, which was the latest, but I don't want to use 1.28. I want to go for 1.29, but here I am unable to see the details. Yes, see, once I will upgrade this, it will move from 1.28.7 to 1.28.8. This was the last version of 1.28. But I want to move to 1.29. I don't want to use 1.28.7, right? So how can we do this then? If you use this command, what will happen? This will help you to upgrade to 1.28.2. That's pretty straightforward process which has been happening. But I don't want to go, or I don't want to go to 1.28.8. I want to set up 1.29. Okay, let us first read this document and get back to our topic. Okay, so these are the different commands which we can use while upgrading our master machine. Okay, So first CubeADM version we have already checked, and then decide on the upgrade version, which version you want to upgrade. So here we have two different commands. One is apt update. This is updating all the packages. So let me just execute this command. Once this is done, then I will use this command. So what this command will do, this command will show you all the possible versions which are available, means all the possible CubeADM versions. Okay, so let me paste this and hit enter. So what is happening here, you can see these are the different versions you can update or downgrade. Means your current one is CubeADM 1.28.7. If you want to upgrade to 1.28.8, you can, this is available for you. If you want to downgrade to 1.28.0, this is also still available. Okay, now if I'll execute upgrade plan, then you will see what are the different suggestions it was providing earlier. Same output you can see again. Now my requirement is I don't want to move to 1.28. I want to go for 1.29. So in this case, what I will do is, why it is not showing here, because the repository what I have used for installation means, for example, let me show you one thing. I have set up my Kubernetes with the help of this document. Okay, I have set up my Kubernetes with the help of this document, and my Kubernetes is running on Ubuntu machine. Okay, so here if you'll see this command, so here I have used 1.28 version upgrade, means all the the complete document is same, only these two commands I have changed to set up 1.28. From where I have got these commands? I have got this command from the official documentation. If you'll go this is 1.28, right? So if I scroll down, so instead of that commands, I have replaced these packages. Here if you'll see 1.28. So that's the reason my Kubernetes version is 1.28. In your case, what you have did, you have used the commands for 1.29. You have used the commands for 1.29, means you have executed these packages. That's the reason these commands, that's the reason it was able to install 1.29 in your machines. Okay, so you need to first set up one cluster with 1.28 and then try to upgrade it. Okay, so what I'm doing, I am unable to see the packages related to 1.29. That's the reason I'm trying to download or execute this command. So this command, what it will do, this will help me to get the packages in my machine. Okay, so let me use this command. This is for 1.29. If you want to use for 1.27, then same process, you just need to change the URL. Okay, what about something went wrong? Let me just check this, or else let me use this commands. Both are same, guys. Let me copy, paste. Okay, so I have executed one command and then I'm trying to download the package. Whenever you try to add any repository, then what you will do, you will try to update your machine, right? Once updating, here you can see something 1.29 means it is trying to update the repositories with 1.29 versions. Okay, so this is done. Now if I'll execute our this command with all the possible versions, you can see 1.29 now. See, 1.28 has been removed. Only the packages are available. So now it is asking us which version you want to use or upgrade. So I want to upgrade to 1.29.2 or 1.29.1 or 29.03. So which version you want to upgrade, we can select. Clear? So now what I will do, okay, so once this is done, then I am using these commands apt mark unhold kubeadm. So what this command will do, This command will make sure that your kubeadm is not updated unnecessarily. Means this will be unholding for now. Earlier what happened is there are no automatic updates, means that has been disabled. I don't want my kubeadm to be automatically updated whenever there is a new release. That's the reason we use this command to hold and to unhold. Now it is time for us to upgrade it to a different version. So I'm trying to unhold this first. Okay, and then I will be using this command. In this command, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to update my machine. Okay, I'm trying to update my machine, and then I'm trying to install kubeadm. So which version of kubeadm you want to use? I want to use 29.2-1.1, means I want to use this one. Hit enter. So what will happen, since you already have the 1.29 packages available, it will try to install for you. If the packages were not available, then it will throw error that no packages found. So make sure that you have downloaded the packages first. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to hold my kubeadm, means after this I don't want my kubeadm to be upgraded whenever there is a release. So I'm trying to make it a lock. Done. Okay, so how many components we should upgrade? kubeadm, kubelet, kubectl, right? So I have updated kubeadm. Now I am just trying to upgrade the node machine. Okay, this command, what it will do, it will try to upgrade your kubeadm. Okay, something happened, and here you can see that node was successfully updated. Now if you'll execute this kubeadm command, you can see the version is 1.29.2. Clear? So our kubeadm has been updated successfully. Now let me go to my worker, sorry, my kubectl and kubelet. Okay, before doing this, I'm trying to drain the node. Draining the node is very important. So what will happen? If you'll try to drain, I mean kubectl drain command, it will make sure that there is no working pods on your machine. Okay, so kubectl get pods -a kubectl, right? So here if you'll see this, these many pods are running on your machine. So I want to drain my node. So if I'll use kubectl get nodes, here you can see the name is master. So when I execute kubectl drain, then what will happen? All these nodes will be stopped. I mean all these pods will be evicted. Okay, so before upgradation, it is mandatory for us to make a drain. So let me copy this, and this command is ignoring daemon sets. Okay, so here instead of master node, my name is master only. This name should be as per this name, whatever name you are able to see here. Hit enter. See what is happening? Evicting pod calico. We have something called calico, right? So it is trying to remove all the pods. Now if you'll see kubectl get pods, okay, what will happen? It will try to remove everything from here. Okay, node master has been drained. Okay, so once this is drained, then this is not required for us because this was able to successfully execute. If this was not able to execute, then you should have used this command. Okay, so step 7. Now it's time for us to upgrade kubelet and kubectl. So we have already updated kubeadm. Now we should upgrade kubelet and kubectl. So same command, unhold, so that I can upgrade these packages. Okay, cancel, and then I should use the version. So what was our version? 1.29. I don't remember that. Okay, let me execute this command. What was the version? I want to know the exact minor version. Okay, so I have used this, right? So let me upgrade my kubelet and kubectl. Point 1.2 from 1.1. So this should be my kubelet version, and this should be my kubectl version as well. Okay, now I'm trying to upgrade my kubelet and kubectl. Okay, this is also updated. Now let me just make it hold so that no updates are being pushed on here. Okay, and then we need to restart our daemon as well as restart our kubelet so that new changes will be reflected. Systemctl restart kubelet. Okay, so everything has been done. And then we have this uncordon command. Means once you have drained your worker machine, I mean we have used drain command, right, to drain our master, and uncordon, what it will do, it will help you to get back to your cluster. So this will be my command. Okay, the moment we have executed drain, what happened? It has removed all the pods. Okay, so now if I'll do kubectl get nodes, you can see the master is ready, and this is a version 1.29.2. Kubelet version, that command is wrong. You can see 1.29.2. So we have upgraded our Kubedium, kubelet, and kubectl. If I'll execute kubectl, then you can see 1.29.2. So this is how you can upgrade all your master workers. So sorry, master machine. So first we need to upgrade the master, and then we should go for our worker nodes. Clear? I have executed kubectl get nodes, and we were able to successfully see 1.29 version. Understood? This is easy or tough? Easy, right? So make sure you remember the steps. I mean, what all the different components you should upgrade, like Kubedium, kubelet, kubectl. So we should use drain command to evict all the pods. We should use uncordon command. Uncordon, what it will do, it will try to get back to the cluster and make sure of the schedulings. Okay, so remember these steps. So now what do we have? Kubectl get nodes. Now I want to upgrade my nodes. So how many nodes in my case? Only one. If you have 2 or 3, then you should log into one worker node and you should upgrade. I mean, is one by one you need to upgrade. You don't have any other option. So for example, any pods which are running on worker 01, what will happen when we are using drain? Then that pod will be scheduled to another worker machine. Right? So that's how it will make sure of no downtime as well. So now let me go to upgrading my worker nodes. So let me log into my worker. This is my worker. Let me connect. Okay, so this is my worker 01. Now I will execute apt mark on hold. First I am updating my Kubedium. This is my worker, right? Okay, and then I will try to upgrade this. See, let us see what will happen. Okay, so let me just try to update this. This is my worker. What was the version? 1.29.2.
9.2.
No. What was the minor version? I want to know the minor version as well. 1.29.2 iPhone 1.1. 1.1. Okay, let me hit enter. See what is happening. It will throw error because here if you see it is trying to check for 1.28 version package. Here I am trying to execute 1.29. See version 1.29.2 iPhone 11 for Cube ADM was not found because I need to download these packages. So for that we have used these two commands, right? So we should, I mean, these two packages should be available in our server where you are trying to upgrade. So yes, and let me try to execute this command. Whatever version you want to install, guys, 1.26, then just replace this package. That's it. Apart from this, everything will be same. Okay, so I have upgraded. Now I am trying to update my packages because I have updated two packages, right? I'm trying to install CubeADM 1.29.211. This time it is trying to upgrade to 1.29 and our CubeADM is also getting updated. See, unpacking CubeADM 1.29 over 1.28.7. This was my previous version. Okay, so whenever you see any issue that the packages are not available, it means that you need to download the packages. You can get these URLs from the official documentation from this link. This one, which one you want to download? For example, 1.26. If you click this, here you will find these commands. See, this one, this one. These are the two different commands what I was executing. Okay, so now let me make it whole again. Okay, now let me try to upgrade my CubeADM. Okay, the configuration for this node was successfully done. We were able to upgrade. Okay, now if you see CubeADM iPhone version, or else let me use this command. Okay, here you can see 1.29.2 version has been installed successfully in worker01. Okay, now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to remove all the, I'm trying to use drain command. CubeADM is done. So now I'm trying to use my drain command. What this command will do, this command will replace all my running pods. It will try to evict all my running pods. Okay, so for this purpose, so what was my name? Worker01, right? So let me replace this. Instead of worker node01, it is only worker01. So let me replace this. Okay, sorry, this command we should execute in master because we are communicating kubectl from master only, right? So I will try to run from master. So now what will happen? Our worker01 is not available and it will not send any pod for scheduling. You can see all the pods are been getting dropped from the machine. see kubectl get nodes. See, scheduling disabled means what is happening now? You cannot schedule anything. Means there no pods will be scheduled on this machine. Okay, no pods can be scheduled on this particular machine. Now that's what we have did. Now let me execute these two commands. So these two commands where I will be executing in the worker 01. So let me go to my worker 01. Let me unhold and then let me execute this. So what should be the version 1.29.2?
2-1.1.
2-1.1.
1.1. 1.29.2.
Wait, man. Let me just check. Here we have the version 1. I should have noted down it, but okay, fine. 29.2 -1.1. So this is our version. Okay, so I'm trying to upgrade my kubelet and kubectl. So once that is done, then I will be holding them. Okay, and then holding them, and then let me restart my daemon as well as my kubelet, and then I want to tell my kubectl to uncodon, means this is okay and we can start scheduling the pods on this machine. Okay, where I should execute this? I should execute this in the master machine, because from master only we are communicating to our worker machines, right? Worker 01. Okay, now if I'll do kubectl get nodes, then you can see our master is ready and version 1.29, and our worker is also now ready because I have uncodon. It means that it is okay to schedule, right? So here the version is 1.29.2. This is how we can upgrade our Kubernetes version. Even if you want to downgrade, then same process. Only thing will get changed is the packages. Now verifying the cluster upgrade, which already I have did. Clear how to upgrade and how to downgrade?
Yes.
So I want you guys to set up one cluster with 1.28 or 1.27 version and upgrade it to any version. I mean 1.28 or 1.29, any version is okay. Clear? So with this, let me stop this recording, and I think this will be the end for Kubernetes in our case. Okay, so let me stop this recording.